and welcome to the Bat Cave. I'm your host, BlindBat8719. On today's video, I'll be playing for you my Kogla the Titan Ape deck. Before I do, two quick things. One, please consider subscribing to the channel and helping my channel grow. Two, Kaldheim spoilers are out right now. So let me know in the comment section down below what commanders from Kaldheim have been spoiled so far that you're looking forward to playing, as well as what ones you would want to see me build and play with. With that out of the way, Kogla the Titan Ape, 3 green legendary creature ape. When he enters the battlefield, he fights up to one target creature I don't control. Whenever he attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. And then 1 green, return target human you control to its owner's hand. Kogla gains indestructible until end of turn. So the first thing we wanted to focus on with building this deck is putting humans into it. Kogla, to me, this card really resonated with me. He seems like a fun thing to build around. Is he the most competitive or the best mono green commander? Probably not. Probably better in the 59. But I wanted to build with him because he just seemed like a fun card to play with. I also thought it'd be a fun challenge. So, Inquisitive Puppet these are all our humans in the deck. Inquisitive Puppet enters a battlefield scry when you can exile him to create a 1/1 human creature token. Destiny Spinner, a creature and enchantment spells we control can't be countered. There's some more text about creating elemental creatures, but I really don't expect to use that in the deck. She's really in here because she is a cheap human we can recast if we bounce her back with Kogla. Humble Naturalist ramps us out for only creature spells, but still, ramp is ramp. We want to get to Kogla as fast as we can. Syr Faren pumps another creature that's attacking by +X/+X until end of turn. Again, it's just a cheap human to have in the deck. Azusa lets us play 2 additional lands on each of our turns, so if we play her out on turn 3, we'll play out 2 additional lands, hopefully. Hornbash, or 1 extra land, now I do the math. Hornbash Mentor, when he enters the battlefield, put a trample counter on target non-human creature you control. So this is one of the ways we have to give Kogla trample so that he can deal more damage to our opponent. And he can give a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with trample. Lovestruck Beast is a 5/5 that can't attack unless we control a 1/1, but Heart's Desire creates a 1/1 white human creature token, so we can use that to protect Kogla, give him indestructible. And the first Iroan Games. The first chapter creates a 1/1 human soldier creature token that we can use to protect Kogla or give it indestructible. The second chapter puts 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature we control. The third chapter, we get to let us draw 2 cards if we control a creature with power 4 or greater. And the fourth chapter creates a gold token that if we play lands on 4 and 5, will let us be able to play Kogla on turn 6. Now for ways of giving Kogla trample so we can get his damage through to our opponent, we have Shadow Sphere in the deck that also gives a creature +1/+1 on lifelink. And then for 1, we can make permanents our opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible at the end of turn. Fully Grown is a combat trick that also puts a trample counter on a creature we control. Garruk's Uprising gives all of our creatures trample. Lets us draw a card whenever another creature with power 4 or greater comes into the battlefield, and we'll draw a card when it comes into the battlefield if we already control a creature with power 4 or greater. Angiosaurus, or Gem Razor, when we mutate onto Kogla, we can give Kogla trample that way, and whenever Gem Razor mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. Garruk Unleash, his +1 ability, gives a creature trample as well as +3/+3. His -2 ability lets us put a beast token into play, and if our opponent has more creatures than us still, which would be unfortunate, we get to keep putting an additional loyalty counter on Garruk. And then Titanith Rex, or the mono green Godzilla, cycling for 1 and a green, and whenever we cycle Titanith Rex, we get to put a trample counter on target creature we control. The rampants in the deck, we have Gilded Goose, Ilysian Caryatid. It also is a 1/1, so we can allow our Lovestruck Beast to attack. Lotus Cobra, Arcane Signet, Cultivate, Llanowar Visionary, which also draws us a card. Migration Path, which we can also cycle for 2 mana. Nylea makes our creature spells cost 1 less to cast, and then for 2 and a green, we can reveal the top card of our library. If it's a creature card, we can put it into our hand, otherwise we can put it into our graveyard. And Solemn Simulacrum lets us draw a card when he dies. Some interaction here. We have Ram Through. For our one-sided fight, our creatures deal damage to our opponent's creature, and if it has trample, our creature has trample, the excess gets dealt to our opponent's life total. Broken Wings. It's a little bit of a situational card, but flying creatures is something that mono green decks tend to have a problem interacting with. So Plummet for me is too narrow, but the ability to be flexible of destroying an artifact or enchantment, I think Broken Wings is a fun card as well as a good utility card to have in the deck. And then Thorn Mammoth, kind of like another Kogla, whenever he enters the battlefield or another creature that enters the battlefield, Thorn Mammoth fights a creature we don't control. So we can get a repeatable fight effect if we play out an additional creature when we have Thorn Mammoth out. And these are our card advantage spells. We have Maze Mind Comb to scry the top or draw a card. Tome of Legends to help us draw cards. Lead the Stampede will lead the top 5 cards of our library. We can put up to 5 creature cards into our hand if there's 5 creatures in the top part. Garruk's Harbinger is similar. We would look at the top 4 cards whenever he deals damage to a player or planeswalker and reveal a creature or Garruk planeswalker card put into our hand. Okami Adversary. The 2/3 with Death Touch whenever he deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If our opponent happens to have a green creature, he costs a little bit cheaper. Return of the Wild Speaker, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures we control. With Kogla out, that means we would draw 7 cards. We also can act as the finisher if we go for an Alpha Strike by giving our non-human creatures +3/+3 to end of turn. Elder Gargaroth draws a card whenever he attacks or blocks. We can also gain life or put a 3/3 green beast token into play. The Great Henge, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, it gets a +1/+1 counter and draws us a card. It also can gain us some life and add some mana. If Kogla's out, the Great Henge will only cost green. And the rest of the deck, Ballot Get Recovery. We can return a card from our graveyard to our hand. It can also be a land for us. It's Questing Beast is just a very efficient creature that is a way of us dealing with opposing planeswalkers, as we don't need to split our attack. And then Turn Timber Symbiosis. For 7 mana, it just lets us find a creature to put onto the battlefield. The big things we'd look for to try to hit with this would be Titanothrex or Thorn Mammoth for the most part. But if we get something small, 3 mana or less, we can put it on the battlefield and give it 3/+1/+1 counters to pump it up. For the mana base, we have Castle Garenberg for some ramp, 17 Forest, Bonder's Enclave to draw some cards, Crawling Barrens as a mana sink, Fable Pasture to help filter out the deck, and Field of Ruin to blow up lands we don't want our opponent to have. With the deck tech out of the way, let's jump into the arena for some brawls. This hand's borderline. I don't like the idea of playing Maze Mind Tome on 2 to try to find our 3rd land. I think I'm just going to take the mulligan here. Alright, 3 lands. I'm happy with this. We'll keep this. Let's say hello to our opponent. We're playing Rosenschwert, piloting an Orah, Skyclave, Hierophant deck. I would expect to see Cleric Tribal from our opponent for the most part. Temple of Silence. Let's crack our Fable Passage here. Thin the deck a little bit. Draw a Forest. Titanothrex. Okay. Let's go with playing a Tome of Legends. So next turn we got to decide whether we want to get out the Iroan games or go with the Harbinger. I think the Harbinger is going to be better this go around, as I like it more if the Iroan games if I play this out, I'm only going to have 1 creature in play. They're white-black. They're going to have removal. So at least the Garruk's Harbinger, this will be something that if I play Iroan games out next turn, will give me another creature. And then Harbinger has Hexproof from black, so the removal will be limited. And this will guarantee that we get to draw the cards, hopefully. Skyclave Cleric. Okay. Well, this will get out of hand. Alright, 4th land drop. Alright, the decision has to be made between going with Migration Path to ramp to 6 to cast Kogla next turn, or using Nylea. I know if I attack, I'm going to end up not doing really well, because this will probably just trade, or they'll just take the damage and then we'll get hit for more. I believe it's been better off just to get the mana going, so I'm just going to search ramp out here. Get 2 more forests. No attacks. And then next turn, we'll just play out Kogla. Probably fight the Cleric. Yeah, we'll probably fight the Cleric right now. I know I'm saying use Kogla to fight. Problem is, if they kill him in response, I don't have a way of keeping him around. I'm pretty certain they have a removal spell. So I would say at this point then, let's try to get around things a little bit. Let's start going a little wild. Let's get at least a token out, so we have another human. And let's draw a card now. See if we get another land source. Alright, Goose is good. Alright, no attacks again. So now they might be tempted here to play out Orah. So this way if I fight something they... Oh! Okay, that's fine. That's one of the few ways they had to actually interact with that creature. No blocks. Alright. I'm going to put it on the Gilded Goose. We're going to fight with Kogla now. So we may end up not being able to draw any cards next turn, which is fine. But I think making Goose a viable attacker is a good thing. Kogla next turn can blow up the Elspeth Conqueror's Death so they don't get anything. And if they do end up killing him, I mean, it costs a little more, but we'll use the Broken Wings to get rid of it so they don't get... Well, they only have the Cleric of Life Bond back. Maybe it's worth keeping, he gets that back, not the big deal. Alright, as expected, they had some removal. Yeah, we'll take the action there. Alright. Alright, so we don't get to draw any cards, no big deal. I would say let's draw a card. I'm going to go with Nylea here. For the most part so that... I still cycle. I don't want to cycle right now. I think I'm just going to swing here. Yep. Okay, so that was a mistake. Yeah, I was thinking the Demon's Disciple. Oh yeah, and then I forgot that's where Garruk... that would have been good where Garruk would have been useful. So we have a land. Gonna go with Kogla here. Gonna go after Orah now. My thought being is that whatever he gets back, my thought process was more that I don't want to put this in his graveyard for him to find a way to be able to get back if we ever kill Orah again. Alright, opponent discard a card to the bottom. Our next turn we're probably looking at trying to get out a Great Henge that's really reduced in cost right now. That would also turn on Nylea, give us another body to attack with. They take 6. Take the action. So he costs 9, 8. We could actually cast him next turn. So yeah, that's modified, isn't it? And I don't think paying 3 right now is that great. Alright, so let's pay 1 to draw a card. Okay. Play out a Lovestruck Beast. Do I have to worry about any flyers from their side? I think I'm going to use the Broken Wings now. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to take the risk here. I'm going to try to blow this up now so they can minimize their card advantage. Alright, so there's the flyers. Well, now we know we have to kill first. When we recast Kogla.
Back off and let nature grow.
3. Yeah, I probably should have just actually plussed there. Probably should, like I said, I should have probably plussed Garruk there. That kills both. Okay, yeah. Okay. Alright. That's all fine. Alright, so right now I played about the Maze Mind Tome because we're both getting low on cards. Our best bet is to try whoever gets the better card advantage right now. So, yes, they have the bigger creature, and they'll probably play out or make it a 6/6. So I may have to use Kogla to try to take care of the Scion. Scion's going at me? They're both going at me. No blocks. They're either going to wipe the board here, and in which case I took 9 damage for no reason, or they're going to play... I have a feeling they would probably try to bring back a Demon's Disciple with an Agadeem's Awakening. Okay. That's fine. Let's scry. Lead the Stampede. Really probably looking at fighting with Kogla for the most part. So I think I want an extra mana just to be on the safe side. Alright. So play Kogla. Have him fight that. Just to be on the safe side, let's bring back the human. And that was a waste because I forgot about getting a +1/+1 counter. Yep. Figured he'd bring back that guy. Oh, let me turn off full control mode now. Sacrifice the beast token. Plus Garruk here a little bit. Nylea.
They're a stampede of one.
No attacks. End the turn. Valaged recovery. So we could bring back some of this stuff. Speaker of the Heavens. Okay, that's something else to die as well. So Nylea is probably going to be on defense for the most part. Oh. Dang. I think we're done for. Good game. Dang it. I like that we have a lot of our 2-drops here, especially for the mana ramp. Actually, so we're playing against Enigmas, piloting a Yasharn, the Implacable Earth. We don't have to worry about really early removal, I would say. So we could, while a little slow, we could try to risk this one. Because I was trying to think of the rewards we would get. Caryatid on 2 or Lotus on 2. We would get maybe a turn 3 Kogla? If we draw right? Sure, let's go for this one. I'll risk this one. Say hello. Play this in tapped. Go with Caryatid, mainly because they'll be guaranteed mana. Goes Fledgling. Alright. Let's lead off with the Lotus Cobra. This 2 mana, we'll go with 2 green. Or it gives us an extra mana, so we have 3 mana now. I think actually here, go with the Maze Mind Tome, and go with the Inquisitive Puppet. Forest. There we go. That's good. So next turn 4, 5, 6 mana. Add another green. Let's go straight to Kogla. Now let's see what tricks they have. Okay, that's fine. No attacks. And we'll end the turn there. But that's still good. We have Kogla on the board. Oh, nice. That's fine. If we draw a land next turn, we can get Thorn Mammoth out. Lead the Stampede. I would like to have more cards in my hand. So I know we're looking for the land for Thorn Mammoth, but I think I'm better off filling up my hand a little bit here. Yeah. Okay, so let's swing. And then let's keep the mana flowing. I'm gonna hold back a little bit because I am getting, if they have any board wipes here, I'm really stretching myself out thin a little bit. So that's why I figure I'll just use that extra mana from Lotus Cobra to draw a card. Alright, so Yasharn gets some plains and a forest. Fledgling goes up. Okay. Castle Garenberg for our land. Let's add a green. And let's see if he has anything to save Fledgling. Two on one counters. Okay. Don't have any ways of interacting with that. Alright. Just swing Kogla in. Alright, that's fine. Take that trade there. Anything I'm willing to trade off here? I'm willing to take the damage, so I'd rather keep the 2 mana up to draw another card with the Maze Mind Tome. 4. Ugin. Alright.
Unutilized knowledge.
So here's the tricky. Alright, so he's going to -6. Alright, so let's draw our card. Another forest, that's good. Alright, so Ugin deals 3 damage. We don't necessarily want to play something that has 3 toughness. Outside of maybe Solemn. So we don't care if he dies. Oh, wait. Ha! I don't normally plan on using this ability, but this actually helps us deal with the Ugin. Target land you control. Alright, so it has to be an untapped land. I think that's like probably one of the few times I'll ever actually use that ability. Alright, Vivian, not bad, not bad.
I love making new friends.
Luminous Broodmoth. Well, that's the first thing that's going to have to die now. No attacks, end the turn. That's what I was afraid. Vivian would probably use her -2 there. Nice.
Things are about to get out of hand for you.
So I think a questing beast would be what I would expect next. Elder Gargaroth would be the other one. Probably the Gargaroth. Alright, got to call that one. Sure, I'm fine with that. I guess they want to hold on to their Kogla. Bazri's Lieutenant. Okay. Land. play that out. Really wish they had used that originally for the Okami instead of tapping my lands. Mutating doesn't seem to be as good right now. I'm kind of have to use this. And might as well get the Shadow Sphere going too. Alright, I drew them a bunch of cards. I think the tide is turning here a little bit. When they attack with Kogla, they got a few options. They'll probably go after the Shadow Sphere, but it's also, I think, fair game to go after the Solemn Simulacrum, so there's one less blocker on my side. The Maze Mind Tome is irrelevant because I'll just scry before he blows it up and gain the 4 life anyways. Primal Might. And it fights. Okay. Take the action. Really want to see if I can try to keep Syr Faren around. Just so that I might have, let's see, Kogla. So that's 6. So 5 mana. So this takes up 5 lands. So 4. 3 of those left over. That's 10. 9. I might be a little short, actually. Alright, create the beast token, resolves. That makes sense. We'll do that. Pass the blocks. I'll have Solemn die doing that. I'll have the Okami deal the damage there, and we'll take a good chunk of damage. 9 damage, I believe. He didn't blow it up. So I might just hold on to that again, because I still want to draw the card off of that. Alright. Castle Garruk. Mutate onto him. Take the over. Go up to the enchantment so they don't draw any more cards on us. No attacks, end the turn. Lotus Cobra from our opponent. So we're not really in an enviable position right now. Ooh, failed our retreat. Alright, so we have to get Kogla back online soon. Because this is going to be... They're just going to put +1/+1 counters on all their creatures. Anything in the graveyard? Nope. Okay. There's nothing left that we scribe it. Nope. Okay. Stone Coil Serpent. 5/5. This ain't looking great for us right now.
I love making new friends. Four. Everything's 4/4. Everything's bigger. So that does that. Say Faren blocks that. So that's 8. That's 12. 14 damage. Damage. We'll gain. Yep. Alright, let's block. Let's scry. Ram through is not going to do us anything here. What is it? We can fight one other thing. Or deal our damage.
biggest thing here I'd say would be... I'll just concede here. Good game to our opponent. Oh, man. Maybe I should consider putting an Ugin in here as a catch-up. So I'm torn about you keeping this hand or not. We're playing against Varesh, piloting a Torbran, Thane, a Redfell. And this basically, this is going to be a really aggro-centric deck. We're not going to have any action till turn 4. So our things are bigger, but we need to actually survive to that point. This actually has possibilities, if only because I have a number of Humble Naturalists to help us jump a little bit. If we can jump, if this can survive to a Solemn, we should get there. A little slow on their part. That's good. I'm not taking any chances. We're just going to play out the Balaged Sanctuary now. Robber of the Rich. That's not good for us. We have a lot of big, tasty things. Like, that's a good 3-drop to have. So we may have to end up sacrificing Humble Naturalist here to... Well, we can't stop them from doing that ability once they attack, but we can at least prevent some damage. And our Arcane Signet. The only downside of preventing the damage is we'll probably end up losing the Humble Naturalist and not actually gain anything out of the deal. So we'll take the 2. Yeah, sure, play our stuff. The Questing Beast I'm really tempted to play, but we can't really attack properly with the Harbinger. I think we're just better off trying to ramp. So this way then we'll have out Kogla, and we can just try to go bigger than our opponent. Because they'd have to be either one big burn spell or 2 small ones, so we can hopefully, if they go with the 2 small spell burn option, we're good. Nice. Alright, yeah, so we definitely need to swing with Kogla next turn before they are able to get Torbran out. Because we don't necessarily want to fight him because that would kill Kogla. So I'm going to fight the Robber of the Rich right now. This way I'm maybe being a little greedy because I want to keep the mana reduction for my Okami adversary. And it's also one less creature that they can pump with Thorban's ability. He's got a burn spell. Because the onboard... Oh no, that doesn't do it. Okay. It just helps him scry. Oh, Terror of the Peaks. We have the Broken Wings, which is perfect. So that'll be our thing we'll play for 3 next turn. Alright, that resolves. We're going to have to get rid of that now, because that's going to end up killing us. So we'll just kill that now. If I have 4 mana... I may have to consider giving up the Questing Beast right now, I think. So here we're going to have to block because we can't let our life total get that low. Torbran will basically pump all of the red sources he has, so it's going to be kind of hard to get back at this point, I feel like, so we definitely have to get our life total up. I think the best thing we can look for right now would be Son of a Gun. That doubles the damage. It does 3 damage to us. There really is no great answer here. Why shouldn't I block the more damage? Because I lose my creature. That's really the reason why. So, they probably have a red spell in hand that will kill me next turn. So we definitely need to try to gain some life. So basically that leaves us with the Great Henge. Oh, Spindora's deck. Okay. If we swing out, he blocks 1, so that's 7. That's 8 damage. Okay. So let's just swing out with these 2. Blow up, see what he decides to take. He might risk it next to blockers. Alright, we got there. We got him on this one. I mean, we all took a risk here. I took a risk taking more damage. You know, so I get to see, like, you know something? If he decided, if our opponent was like, if he has it, he has it. I respect that play. That's what I feel like too sometimes. We narrowly got out of that one because I think next turn they probably had us dead to rights. So we're going to keep this hand because we can kind of ramp with it. We're playing against Analzeus, piloting a Kenrith, the Return King deck, so we probably can keep up with their ramping as well. So we'll keep this. So we got Signet on 2. We can play out the Cultivate. You know, Harbinger, Garruk, Harbinger. Temple of Triumph, scrying 1 to the top. Say hello to our opponent. Okay, so this isn't necessarily good stuff. Like, this seems to be a big focus on the card draw. Alright. Go down the Arcane Signet right now. We drew the Destiny Spinner, which is, I think this is a... Alright, this is like a weird Jeskai deck, I feel like. And they just have Kenrith maybe as the commander. We'll go with the Questing Beast here. Just swing. Alright, now our set.
Strike with the cunning mind of the dragon.
Okay. Play those 2 out. Oh, they -2. I thought they... Okay. I thought they would have wanted plus to keep her around. Yeah, so Kenrith, this is one of those disguise decks. They want to do something else. Okay. So, with the idea that they blew up the creature that was less powerful, it makes me wonder that they probably have a counterspell in their hand with the 3 mana they have open. I could use Garruk in -2. Let me see what happens if I attack. They block 1, that's fine. Probably should have played the Crawling Barrens out at that point, because I think we're at the point where we need mana sinks. So if we do Kogla and we lose out, like those Cultivate and Garruk next turn, I think I'm going to rather risk Kogla right here, because if they counter him, we can always build back towards him. So there's the cancel, okay. But in 2 turns, I fully believe we'll be able to recast him. Alright, so Crawling Barrens. Let's play out the Cultivate. Let's get 2 more lands. Play out a Garruk.
I've got an axe to grind.
Let me think this out math-wise. They only have 1 green source to pump, so otherwise we're looking at, so right now it's 8, so it'd be 9 damage. 10 maybe, we put a spell on there, 10, up to 11 damage. We put 5 up to him, that prevents some of the damage, because getting a token doesn't do much, because he'll just trample over. So I think, let's just get aggressive here, try to get a creature in our hand. Thornmouth's a good one to get here. Now they know it's around, but we can, if somehow Garruk Unleashed survives, we can play out the Thorn Mammoth, kill one thing, and then make another token and kill something else. That's fine. So if we go crazy here and go with this option, can we outrace them? 4 puts it down. I gotta play one of my fight guys. Can't even get... Oh, wait. If we go with Nylea first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, doesn't work either way. They have some sort of interaction. Looks like a Llanowar Visionary just to be on the safe side of something. 2, 3, 4. Let's go with Thorn Mammoth here. See if they have it. If they don't, I'm going to go after the Sprite Dragon here. Going after Kenrith doesn't make much sense in my opinion right now because they'll just recast him. So, not really worth it. See, negate. Alright, so non-creature spell. Okay. But now things come down to card advantage. Whirlwind of Thought. See, I think my opponent, what happens is he's so focused on the fact that he's a Jeskai player that he forgets that the command tower is actually very versatile. He can bring things back from the graveyard. He can put counters on things. So I think here we'll just try to machine gun things a little bit here. Have the fight happen there. Alright, so no, he's aware of it. Okay. Good question. I'm looking at it. Is it worth it to 4? This doesn't have vigilance though. So let me swing. See if he's willing to block there. Play out the Visionary. So now they play out Kenrith. It's... Oh. That's okay. So... Then to the graveyard. We don't need any more forest at this point. So 8 mana. So we have 9 mana total, let's say. 10. Oh, no, wait. 9, 10. So 5... I want to see if I can get Nylea active as a creature, so that's why I'm casting the Turn Timber Symbiosis right now. Okay, that's totally fine there. Alright, and we got there. So I guess they really wanted to try to draw the card and hope they get something off of that, I guess, as opposed to playing off Kenrith. But yeah, we got there with the deck. Nice. Alrighty, we're playing against Karl Marx, 420, piloting an Athreos Shroud-Veiled. This is the buy box promo for Theros if you were to buy 45 or 90 packs. Otherwise, you have to craft him. These decks are very grindy and annoying. I don't think we can be as fast to beat down on them, but we're going to give it a try. I think this is a really good start, so we'll keep this. Goose on 1, play Lotus Cobra on 2. Let's say hello to our opponent. The reason why I'm doing Goose on 1, I don't expect him to have a 1-mana removal spell. We play Lotus Cobra on 2. We play the land. We can at least get a Lovestruck Beast out. Alright. Oops, I almost screwed all that up. So let's play out the Lotus Cobra. Auto pay. Play out the land. Green source. Play out the Lovestruck... Well, Lovestruck Beast, but let's get the token out. I'm going to keep that on top primarily because while we do want mana, we just emptied out our hand essentially. We're going to want to have... What's a nice swamp? We're going to be able to want to refill our hand. totally fine and expected. Do I sacrifice this now? You know, I don't see why it's not. Why not? Except the bird. 3 mana. There's no board wipe for 3. So we'll just push it a little bit more. Having the Visionary draws a card. Alright. So I'm going to get a land off of that. Entirely possible I should have been more aggressive. Play the Lovestruck Beast out. So this way then I can attack next turn with it. But now that they played out a second Swamp Source. Okay, the Shade can't block. That can, though. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I think here we go with Lead the Stampede. Alright, we'll take a Godzilla. Would have liked to have drawn those lands instead, but no attacks. We'll end the turn here. We'll trade off one of these here. We can always block here. We'll hopefully make a goose token, or a food token, so we can play our Kogla next turn. They already played their land for the turn, so they can't bring Skyclave's Shade back. Nighthawk has Death Touch. That's annoying. Create the food token. So they're going to lord this over our heads because of the Death Touch. I'm maybe playing Kogla out a little bit too early. But we'll kill the Serrated Scorpion now. No attacks. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, we're fine actually. I forgot we have the human. They have to kill the human because we can still swing in freely with Kogla. So I think next turn, yeah. We got some mana here. We may end up... I might risk this if I don't use the Llanowar Visionary. If I attack with the Llanowar Visionary. Ooh. Interesting. Alright, so we have the 3. We have the 3 to give him trample. We have 2 to give him protection. So this may be a mistake. I may have been better off just not playing him out and just keeping the fully grown open as an option. But we'll swing here. Murderous Rider. Okay. Let's activate the ability. We'll bring back the human. Keep him indestructible. Entirely possible that actually I got short-sighted. I should have probably brought back the Hornbash Mentor, as now we just lost the token, and now the Lovestruck Beast can't attack. We are going to want to try to keep up as much mana as possible, just to try to keep Kogla alive, because, I mean, I'll let them gain the life here. I don't want to lose the Gilded Goose. If they blow up the board, they blow up the board. Yep. I think we just cycle here, see if we can get another land. I'll go with the Humble Naturalist. That's good enough for right now for some mana ramp. Murderous Rider out? Okay. So they seem to be having some mana issues themselves, it looks like, as well. Well, let's see if they got anything instant speed-wise. Alright, they got it. Wasn't expecting the dire tactics, but no attacks. Elspeth's Sun's Nemesis. I don't usually see this card.
Heroes, rally to me.
I'll just block here if there's no risk of anything happening. Cultivate 3. Alright, yeah, cultivate's good. So we go up to 4 and tap him down, or we can play out the Lovestruck Beast, who can't attack. I'll go with some defense right now. He is just a bigger body. It's possible this might be the better option because I can always attack with it to try to gain life. Not gain life, to draw cards. That relic's going to be big. Okay, now comes the problems. Athreos.
I will continue the fight.
So Athreos makes all this complicated because he just puts things on his side of the field. Oh man, this gets tricky. I remember now with the command hacks. So activated, non-active. I'm trying to remember now how Athreos works. Because the impacts whether I play out Kogla or not. Dies or exile. Return that card to the battlefield under your control. So active player, non-active player. Kogla dies. I get to choose where he goes, but then I think my opponent gets the next say. You probably would just take the damage. You're not gonna. It's too obvious of a trick. So no attacks there. So I do wholly expect him to have a kill spell for this, because this is a great blocker for them. Yep. Alright, 5-3. He wants to kill. Alright, so I see what his game plan is now, I guess. I'm going to swing with these two. Because I totally expect him to try to block out and kill this. Totally fine. +3/+3. And then with the trample trick, they only need to deal 1 each. Resolve. We'll draw the card now. That'd be nice if we could blow up some things. I think we're better off holding this into our hand. On the off chance they play something else we want to actually blow up. We'll end the turn there. It may be worth using the Field of Ruin to blow up one of their non-basic lands here, just to kind of thin our deck out a little bit. Giant Killer. Sure, totally fine. The sad part is Giant Kill is the thing I probably need to actually kill now. No blocks, we'll take the 5. Alright, they have a really defensive thing going on here, I see. Okay. Migration path. So let's go with Kogla. Let's kill the Giant Killer. The biggest reason why is because it's just going to tap down our stuff. No attacks. I just remember that this has the counter on it. So if I were to attack with this, he'll just have these two trade and gets them both back. So yeah, I would draw the card, but I would still be in trouble where now I have 2 things on it, so one of which is a Death Toucher that Kogla won't be able to get through with. Alright, Realm Cloak Giant. That makes things tricky. So this would make everything kind of survive. Swing with those 2. See if I can get a little bit of a gotcha. So he gets all that stuff back. So I guess I was probably better off drawing the card there, because that did absolutely nothing. So in theory here, I'm just going to ramp out. The basic idea is that the reason why I would choose the ramp there as opposed to cycling is that cycling gives me 1 random card. The searching for 2 lands at least takes 2 cards out of my deck that are lands that aren't things that give me stuff done. Human actually... Oh, get rid of him of his stuff. Please pick human. I picked elf. Double block here. You lose the Destiny Spinner most likely. Yeah, we'll block there. Yeah, I think this game's probably out of our reach right now. Land didn't help there. We'll just play him out for right now. Draw another card. Put out Solemn. Take the action, search for another land. Trying to thin out all the lands. Do we have enough to chump? Maybe. Blow this up. Bring him back to our hand. Let's see. Block, block, block. Yep, they got this. Good game. Oh, nice. Massacre Worm kill. I like that. Let's try that card. What we've got? Garruk. Okay. Athreos deck, especially the control version, they're just so hard to interact with because once Athreos is out, you need exile effects to get rid of him, and then he starts putting counters on everything else. So, yeah, we're creature based. It was just gonna be really tough. So I think maybe this deck might want an Ugin just as a way of interacting and dealing with hard things like that. Alrighty, and that is the video for today. We ultimately went 2 and 3. It's kind of a little bit expected. The deck was built to be a fun deck to play, a very flavorful-esque deck. Wasn't really expected to be competitive. Probably would want Ugin in here as a board wipe, as there really isn't any board wipes in mono green, or the only one I could find would be Nylea's Intervention, and again, that only hits flyers. So Ugin would probably come in. I think Thorman would probably come out because they do kind of the same thing, higher up on the curve. But let me know how you would improve the deck or what cards you would put in the comment section down below. What commander do you think? What green commander do you think would be a better commander than Kogla? What would you build with? Is it Yorvo, Laura Garenbring? Is it the Questing Beast? Let me know down below. Let's have a discussion about that. If you liked today's video, click the thumbs up icon down below. If you really like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to the channel to have Brawl content brought to your inbox weekly, and hit that bell notification icon so when you know I upload, which is usually on a Friday or a Saturday. As always, thanks for visiting the Batcave and have a great day.